What's going on, guys? Don't mind the mask. I'm not worried about the coronavirus. Just smoked myself out of the garage here testing a couple chainsaws. Speaking of which, working on rebuilding this Shindaiwa 377 carburetor. It's been sitting around for way too long. Maybe 2 years? 3 years? Maybe even 4 or 5 years. So I'm gonna get this kit on here. I got the fan blowing behind me to get the smoke out of here, blowing it out of the garage door. And then I'm gonna test, well, see if it starts. And if it does, once I put it all back together, I'll follow up in a minute. See you then, hopefully. So I got the carburetor rebuilt. Don't mind the mess, guys. It's been a busy past few weeks, but got home with some daylight left, and this has just been put off for way too long. So all put back together. This is not a remake. This is the original Walbro carburetor that was on my, I don't know if you can see the Walbro logo there. This is the original Walbro carburetor that came with my Shindaiwa 377. I ordered the kit several years ago. Unfortunately, I can't remember where I ordered it from, and I don't think I have the guy's card out here, or I would kind of at least plug his business, because he knows everything there is to know about chainsaws. Anyway, so I purchased this, I think, for 25 bucks 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. Been involved in small engine repair, you know, as needed. I never did it on any kind of significant level of seriousness. Something to kill the time, so I got into chainsaws. I was finding them super cheap. I was really liking the vintage ones. I've always been a fan of the vintage saws here. I'm pan over. I really have to go through these. I got so many really great saws here that are just sitting around collecting dust. There's another pile down there. I don't know, I probably have like, I don't know, 30 saws, 30 vintage chainsaws at this point. I'm gonna keep them, you know, obviously. So anyway, this exhaust has clearly gotten in my head. United States Postal Service container. I chucked it in here, and I forgot about it, really. You know, I just wanted all the parts in a bin so that I can revisit it at some point. That point's clearly today, whether I finish this and get it running or not. I'm just sick of looking at it in this crate. Anyway, clearly I've let it sit for a while, and it managed to get enough moisture on it to start to get some surface rust on the bar, which, shame on me. But this is actually the side of the bar that was showing. It was facing up. This is the side of the bar that was facing down, so I don't know. I think I'll probably just be able to sand that off, just hit it with the wire wheel, and be in good shape. You know, it's not seized up or anything, so I think I could pretty much, I should be able to utilize this. I mean, I'll throw it on there if I get the machine running, and we'll see how it cuts, if I have a chain in here for it. Speaking of which, I have no idea. I don't think these are the chains for this. I don't think they're the right profile. I also don't think they're the right length. So these are probably for something else. One of the other 30 saws, probably. Yeah, this one, no. No good, don't need that. Get those out of here, put them off to the side. Alright. Probably part of my intake. No, that's the air filter, actually. Well, that's dirty. I'm gonna definitely have to clean that. Not gonna put that on a brand new carb or a brand new rebuild. That's I'll spray that out. Put that down right here. The cover for the air cleaner and carburetor, that's in really good shape, actually. I think I only paid 25 bucks for this saw, which, after it's been sitting for this long, it's definitely going to look like a $25 purchase. But supposedly, when I got it from the guy, I think this was up in Sussex County, New Jersey, you know, he had a small plot of land, and he had used it to cut up some firewood, and got it from his brother, you know, some whatever story, and yeah, it runs. Oh yeah, just haven't used it in a while. It runs. Yeah. And for 25 bucks, man, I don't really care. I'm not going to stand around and make a guy pull it a bunch of times and prime it and try and prove to me that it runs. I don't care. It's 25 bucks. You know, for me, 25 bucks, so I could spend $25 on 2 craft beers. It's, you know, 2 craft beers or a chainsaw, or, you know, whatever. So, doesn't really matter to me. I'm not going to waste any time. I went up there, gave him 25 bucks, I brought it home. Anyway, son of a, got some surface rust on the clutch. That's annoying. I mean, my garage isn't climate controlled, but It's not like this thing was sitting outside. This is probably just from all the moisture in the air. That's kind of pissing me off, actually. No, that's what I get, right? That's what I get. If you're gonna start it, finish it in a timely manner. Alright, well, whatever. It is what it is. So I don't think it's gonna really greatly affect anything. I'm not trying to do a restoration. So at least I was wise enough to stuff a paper towel in the cylinder. That's great. Let's take this out and see. Let's see what we see. Yeah, maybe I should turn the fan back on. If you guys suddenly see the phone go to drop to the floor, do something. Fuck. Alright. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. You know, under the circumstances. Let's see. Oh yeah, alright, great. That does not look bad at all. You can't really see down in there too well, but alright. Alright, wonderful. So definitely I definitely have to clean this up. Absolutely. That's part of the intake. I think technically that's what they refer to. Yeah, this is probably going on the opposite end of the carburetor, so yeah, part of the intake. Alright, so I gotta clean that up. I'll just leave that right there. My linkage is intact. Wonderful, I didn't lose it. I've definitely done that on some of my smaller still saws before, the 015s, and that sucks. Really easy to lose those. What else is in the box? Some trash, that's great. Some trash. Oh yeah, these things are great, actually. Cable cups, oh, wonderful. Definitely got some extension cords I'm gonna need for that. I don't know why they're in here. Whatever, glad I found them. Some leaves, whatever this is, wire tie. Got my top cover. Top cover seems to be in pretty good shape as well. Dude, once I clean this up, this is probably going to be it's probably going to be a nice saw. I don't think I fully acknowledged when I purchased this that it's actually not beat up. A lot of the vintage stuff that I got, not that this is terribly old, maybe the 80s, I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to research the serial number. But yeah, this is not cracked, it's not scuffed really. I know it's the top, but even in general, the rest of the body of the saw, you know, it's actually in really good shape. Yeah, shame on me for letting it sit in a box for so long and collect all the surface rust and grime. Anyway, I gotta clean that out. I'm gonna put that back on. Was this my clutch cover? Oh yeah, that's ugly. That is ugly. Look at this. I'm bringing it over to the light. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and soak that. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't even. Looks like concrete. It's not, but ugh, yikes. Not bad, not in bad shape. But yeah, everything seems to be pretty solid. I'm actually, this is kind of like Christmas. You know, a very filthy Christmas. All right. Oh, looks like I got a chain. That's good. Got a chain up in the box. Don't know how sharp it is. Back over some light. Give me some light. Yeah, it seems pretty beat up. So probably gonna, I don't know. I'll probably buy a new one. Put this off to the side and get this sharpened. I do not have a sharpener at the moment. I've not been able to justify that purchase, but I will. I'll find a way. This random nonsense from David Carota LLC, brought to you by Locked and Loaded, Gun Hill. No, I'm just kidding. All right. What else is in this box? Where's this trash garbage? You don't want it? Talk to you. Don't need that. Get this post for that when I have the ability to give it my undivided attention. Air filter. Alright, so that's it. This is the main body over here. My intake over here. And I got my covers. I gotta clean up this surface rust because, man, that's just not. You know what? It'd probably be fine. I could probably just wear it off. Well, whatever. I'm not gonna abuse it any more than I already have. Clean all this stuff up. Looks like it's all here, which is wonderful. Bolt my freshly rebuilt, nice, shiny, clean wall brow that I'm getting filthy with my greasy hands from touching all this crap. Get this bolted back on. Fill it up with some gas. And we'll see what happens. So stick around. And I'm going to take a walk. So I think I need some fresh air. But if I fire this thing up, you guys will be the first to know. I probably should have given you a little bit more info on what happened the day that I got the saw home. So after the guy goes, yeah, I used to use it. I cut up all this firewood on my property, and it's great. It's wonderful. Haven't used it in a while. All that happy horse stuff. He handed it over to me, and off I went. And I came home thinking, great, wonderful. I'm gonna go home, put some fresh gas in it, and maybe give it a little shot of starting fluid, and at the very worst, just tune the carb, and I thought I got a really great deal, $25. I probably did anyway. I probably got a great deal, but I can't say for certain, but I'm almost positive that it wouldn't even stay running for more than, I don't know, maybe 2 seconds. Pretty sure it has spark. At least I hope it does. If not, I'll be pulling the coil next. So I really want this saw back together. Besides all the saws that I showed you in this pile, the 4-foot high pile back there behind my table. This is the only one that's been in a crate kicking around, so it's actually just getting to the point where it's annoying. Hopefully this carb rebuild is all it needed. That would be wonderful. Last thing I need to do is stuff any more money into these projects, especially when I don't need the saw. It's not like I'm in dire need of the saw. But yeah, let me get this carb back on here and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, I'm just bolting the carburetor back up here to the intake on the Shindaiwa. Got myself a little bit of Permatex going on over there. Obviously I didn't take the time to clean all this up because I personally just want to know if this if it's going to run before I start getting crazy. So bolting it back up, I got a little teeny tiny bit of Permatex where the carburetor meets up with the intake. It's not necessary. There was somewhat of a gasket on the intake side. More like a piece of rubber with holes for the bolts to pass through. I've had issues on some of my Husqvarna saws in the past with vacuum leaks wreaking havoc on me trying to troubleshoot and figure out what the hell is going on when they don't run. So now I just use a little bit of this. It's kind of beat up. Permatex gasket maker. Yeah, I've had this tube for a while because you really don't need a lot of it. A little bit goes a long way. It also, I believe this one anyway, ready to roll in 20 minutes. So by the time I'm done putting all the rest of this crap on, it should be good enough. Help me prevent any vacuum leaks from getting between here, right here, this line right here, between the carburetor and the plastic intake. Which, why the hell did I use plastic intakes? It's just such a pain in the ass. Anyway, to go get off track here, that is on. My linkage is still functioning without any issue, which is wonderful. My throttle linkage, the choke linkage, choke linkage is in here. I'm gonna just give this a quick wipe, put that on, and then I'll be back in a second. It runs. I'll show you in a minute. Smoked myself out of the garage again here, unfortunately. Don't mind my dented old mask. Got my fan back on. So I was about to put this together, show you that it's running, and I figured I'd also show you probably another issue I'm going to have to address with this saw if I want to keep it. I am going to keep it. It's going to be a nice addition to my collection. Nice saw to have on deck. Anyway, so yeah, you remember when I pulled all that crap out of the crate earlier, and the clutch cover had all that gunk, all that dust crust. So that dust crust, I started scraping it out. Look at this. You guys see that all? Looks like the plastic's blistering. Yeah, that's probably from heat because they didn't maintain their saw. The last people who owned this, that guy and his brother, I guess. So what happens is, as this is sitting around the clutch, and the clutch is spinning inside of it, yeah, that's probably why the brake's not working either. Chain stop. It generated so much heat, it started to melt this plastic cover. Another reason why I'm not a fan of the newer saws, I just don't like how susceptible the plastic is to all this, you know, if this was an aluminum case, it would get really hot, but it certainly wouldn't blister and then render the brake useless. Which is exactly what I'm dealing with here. It'll cover the clutch, you know, I could bolt it back on, I'm going to do that in a second. But I'm probably going to start looking on eBay for, at the very least, this part. I know the 377s are not insanely popular. I'm going to keep this, so I'll just keep on going online until I find a 377 for parts. Because if I find this alone, they're going to probably charge way too much. Now, I'm not about to overspend. So that's it. I'm going to throw this blistered, crusty, dusty clutch cover back on here. Fire it up. Stay tuned. Well, guys, if you haven't already guessed, that's the Shindaiwa 377 running in the background. That's it. All I needed. All I needed was a carb kit. So, here we go. I'll probably adjust the carb tomorrow. Probably tune it when I have a chance to cut into some wood. But I'll rev it up a little bit for you. Only took 3 years. And on that note, time to get out of here. Cheers.